problems related to ratio and proportion. Today we discuss about the questions related to ratio and proportion. Please watch my video till end for better understanding, and if you like, subscribe and share it. So let's continue. First, the ratio. Ratio is the comparison between two quantities of same kind. For example, A is to B or A ratio B. Here we have two quantities A and B, and we are comparing them. The second is proportion. It is the relation of equality of two ratios. For example, A is to B is equals to C is to D. Here we have two ratios, A is to B or A ratio B and C is to D, and we are here comparing them. So this relation is called the proportion. There are two types of proportions, direct proportion and inverse proportion. First, the direct proportion. In direct proportion, if one quantity is increased, the other quantity is also increased. Or we can say the one quantity is decreased, the other quantity is also decreased. And in inverse proportion, if the one quantity is increased, the other quantity is decreased. And you can say the decrease in one quantity will increase in the other quantity. Here you see the in inverse proportion, both the arrows, that is one goes up and the other goes down, that is in opposite directions. Whereas in direct proportion, both the arrows are in same directions, either they go up or they go down. So now let's see the example related to direct proportion. If a car uses 28 liters of petrol for 168 km, how far will it travel on 15 liters? Here you see that there are two things we have to compare them, that is the distance of the car and the petrol used by the car. Here the car uses 28 liters of petrol for 168 km, and we have to find the distance traveled on 15 liters. So here we can write it as two things, that is distance of the car and the petrol used by the car. So first, one thing which is mentioned here, that is the distance, which is 168 which is 168 kilometer distance of the car, and the petrol used is 28 liters, and we have to find the distance traveled by car when it uses 15 liters of petrol. So the thing which we have to find is the distance, so we write here x. And now, because you know if the car uses 28 liters of petrol, it covers a distance 168 kilometer. If it uses petrol 15 liters, so obviously it uses less distance. So here the problem is related to the direct proportion. One thing is increased, the other thing is also increased. So we write here up arrows, both the arrows in same direction. We can write it as down arrows also. Now how can we solve it? First, from tail to head. First we write x here, x over 168, and here 15 over 28. The sign of equality here. Now we do cross multiplication, that is x multiply with this 28 and 168 with this 15. So we write here x multiply by 28 is equals to 15 multiply by 168. Next step, here we have to find x, so we isolate it. How? We write only x here and 28 goes down here. Next step, we cut the values of 28 and 168 with each other by the number of their factors, that is 2. 2 1 times, 2 4 times. Here 2 8 times 16 and 2 4 times 8. Again 2 times, 2 7 times and 2 4 2 times. Again by 7. 7 1 time and 7 6 times. So here the value is 6 multiplied by 15. The answer will be 6. 15 times it gives 90 kilometer. So we can say that the car travel 90 kilometer in 15 liters. Here you see that the petrol uses by the car is 15 liters, which is less than the previous 28 liter. So the distance also decrease here, that is 90 kilometer. So we can verify that in direct proportion, if the one quantity increase, the other quantity is increased. The other quantity, if the one quantity is decreased, the other quantity will also decrease. So as the distance increased, the petrol used also increased. The next example is of inverse proportion. So the question is, 5 men complete a task in 4 days. If there are 5 more men, how many days will they require to complete the same task? Here this question is about the inverse proportion. How? Here you see that 5 men complete their task in 4 days, and 5 more men when we add. So how many days will they require to complete the same task? So here you see, if the labor is more to complete the work, they complete their work in very less time. And if the labor is very less, or there are some 1 or 2 person, so they complete their task in more time. So we can say the two quantities, the two things are in opposite directions. If one thing is increased, the other decrease. So here the question is about inverse proportion. So here two things are mentioned, that is the days and men. If in 4 days 5 men complete their task, so we have to find how many days. So we write here x. We have to find days. So 5 more men when add with these 5 men. So the man becomes 10. 5 plus 5. Now the men are more. So obviously they complete their task in less days. So the question is about inverse proportion. We can write down and the up arrow here. So now from tail to head we write x over 4 is equal to 5 over 10. Then cross multiply the equation. X will multiply with 10 is equal to 5 with 4. It gives 10x and here 20. So we have to isolate x, so we can divide 10 by both sides. X is equal to 10 2 times, so x is equals to 2. Here you see that the 10 men complete the task in 10 days. So we can write here 10 men complete the task in 2 days. Here you see that here if we add more men, then they complete their work in less days, that is in 2 days, and before it was 5 men and they complete in 4 days their work. So the problem is about inverse proportion. As the number of men increases, the number of days decreases. So in this way we can solve the problems related to inverse and the direct proportion.